social media in 2024 does not allow you to get over your team's loss. It is the worst.
Social media the worst?
No.
You don't say.
Monty, let's
Look
say
who you're talking to.
Let's say Danny G. Let's say your Lakers. Let's say your Lakers lose, Danny G. And you're like, you know what?
Tell us.
Monty, I mean, you might not know this, but social media is a tricky place.
Yeah, man, they can be really mean and take things out of context. And everything.
It's completely bizarre.
Wild West out there.
Yeah.
Get a pen and paper, right?
Write it down.
Note
Here
this.
I am.
News alert! Breaking news. Social media, crazy place.
So I look at it this way, Danny. Let's say your Lakers lose a big series in the playoffs, and you're bummed about it. You don't really feel like watching highlights. As Covino and I always love to point out, when your team wins, you want to watch highlights on replay. You can watch the same highlights 100 times.
Oh, yeah.
If the Niners would have won the Super Bowl, I probably would have watched the game 3 times in its entirety.
It's the best. Yeah, it's the best part of winning.
Every sports, Fox, ESPN, you're watching everything like, my team. When they lose.
You know what? And you stand real close to the TV. You stand up, right?
Yeah.
And you're standing, and you're looking. You're like really zoned in on the TV, and you're like clapping your hands. Yeah.
Forget just not wanting to watch replays. You're so upset that it's hard to watch other teams continue on in the playoffs.
Without a doubt. So think about how tricky it is to get over your team losing, like a little sports baby. Now with social media, if you follow a lot of pages and people that, do things with your team, like I'm sure you're on Dodgers fan pages, Monty. I'm sure you're part of Clippers groups, and you see a lot of Clippers stuff. When your team loses, you can't get over the loss because everyone's just posting like, look at this hold on Bosa.
But that applies
we
to
should have
everything.
won.
It does. That's the double-edged sword, which is the internet and social media. It makes so many things so much better. Like if you want to find a sweet highlights right there at your fingertips. You might even go to TikTok before you go to Google nowadays if you want to see something positive. But then you got to deal with the negative.
Oh, I saw someone
social media's not there just to blow smoke up your ass.
Easiest way to find something, and I'm not even a big fan of. In fact, it's the social media I participate in the least, but I might use the most is Twitter, X. Like I don't really post much. I think it's like garbagey trolls. But I'll tell you what. Someone said, "Did you see Jon Stewart? He's back on the Daily Show," and they're like, "Yo, he equally went
every Monday.
He equally went at Biden and Trump, which a lot of people don't do." And I watched the
Bill
clip.
Maher does. I love Bill Maher.
And I watched it, and I was like, "Yo, that's fantastic."
Highest ratings in 5 years for the Daily Show.
Yeah.
I think 2 million, just about
2 million.
2 million tuned in between the live show and the replay.
And all the social media clips have millions. So, I was like, let me see. Oh, Twitter, X. In its entirety, you can see the Jon Stewart clips. But my point is, social media, if you want to find good things, they're all there. But equal bad because every scroll for me, because I'm so...
Do you want a specific setting where it's like, yeah, I want 49er stuff, but nothing negative, thanks.
No, but because...
I took negative off.
Nice.
You can mute things.
I know, but every finger scroll when I'm on TikTok, Instagram, or anything, I'll give you a couple things. Look at Bosa getting held. They didn't call one offensive holding on the Chiefs. It's all excuses I'm not buying into, but it's just aggravating. Some guy breaking down the play. If the Niners would have blocked Chris Jones, Ayuk was wide open in the end zone. Take a look at this angle. And look at this. There was a blatant hold on Deebo Samuel's arm. It's all second-guessing, annoying fans that I don't want to see. But I'm just telling you, in 2024, when your team loses, you just can't avoid it anymore because if you're on social media, you're like, damn it, my algorithm.
Maybe you need to take a break because you sound angry to me, man.
Yeah, that's
what did
anger.
Joy Behar do to you?
He's in the anger face.
Again, 877-99 on Fox. It's a good thought, though, but social media, again, it's a blessing and a curse. Social media makes losing worse. And it's not just sports, dude. It's breakups. It's anything. If you're going through a breakup in today's world, you don't think it's 10 times worse seeing your significant other going out and about on Snapchat or whatever she's on, wherever she's posting, singling and mingling when she changes her dating status, when she's posting pictures with another dude. It's the worst. It makes all losing in general
That's what
worse.
I said. There's ways to avoid it. When there's a breakup for me, you mute, you block, you restrict.
Let me tell you something,
You get
Spot.
it out of sight, out of mind.
Let me
That's
tell
the
you.
only way to
It takes a
accomplish
lot
it.
of willpower to avoid that, and I've been able to. I've never looked back, and I've never did the equivalent would be the lurking drive-by before social media. to see if there's another car in her driveway.
Oh, whose car's outside her house?
I've never done that on social media, and it takes a lot of willpower.
I remember in high school.
But you know what's embarrassing, though? Your friends and family
will tell
see
you
that stuff, and they'll tell you, and you're like, hey, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
I don't need updates on my losing team or where my ex is now and who she's hanging out with.
Oh, you
Yeah,
see
Rich.
hey, did you see who your ex-wife is dating?
No, I've been trying to avoid it. Thanks.
Thanks, Rich.
So I think it makes everything worse.
I did the drive-by in high school for sure. High school girlfriend broke up with me, drove past her house, saw some dude on the football team's car in front of her house. I'm like, oh, no.
I had my brother drive me around in high school when my boyfriend broke up with me, and he wouldn't answer my calls. He said he was at work, and I went and drove. I had my brother drive me by his work, and his car wasn't there.
There was like a Sunfire or
yeah.
some sort
You know
of
what?
Ford probe in
I
there.
cried to my brother.
Oh my God! Whose neon is in the driveway?
Is that a Saturn?
Whose Saturn is that?
Monty, he left you for another girl on the volleyball team.
Yeah, no, it was his ex. So, no, good times.
That's-
Social media just magnifies losing in general, whether it be in your relationship
Yeah.
or with your sporting team, for sure.
If your team loses the Super Bowl, the World Series, a playoff game, I promise you.
Algorithms make it harder to avoid. That's the thing.
That's my point. My point is, if I'm trying to avoid Niner talk, which, as Danny will tell you, much like him with the Raiders or, Profet with the Lions, you want to see it nonstop. But then when your team loses, you're like, all right, I maybe don't want to see all this, but it's in your algorithm and you're stuck. So all I'm saying is that as I'm trying to prep for our show, if I see one more video of someone making excuses or, well, if they would have done this and they would have done this, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah,
but
you gotta
social
move on.
media
I
is
think
rough.
the only way is to take a break. Take a break from it a little bit. Let it pass.
Yeah.
Let the news cycle pass. It always does, and they'll be on to the next thing, and you won't have to worry about it as much.
I so badly want everyone to start talking about the NBA and baseball and other things because it's upsetting. Because you do start overanalyzing a close game. Now, if it was a blowout, it's one thing. But if your team loses in overtime, now I'm like, well, what if the damn Shanahan didn't take the ball and over? Like, you start getting mad about dumb things. And to tie it to relationships, you said, you unfollow
people
or
love
you
to commiserate.
you
That's
mute
all,
people.
you know what? That's just commiserating.
Yeah.
They're making commiserating posts on social media to interact with other miserable people.
Yeah.
And people do that in their real life. Forget about sports. They do that in real life. They love to share about their losses and their firings and their breakups and their puppy died. It's like people just love to commiserate, period.
Yeah.
That's what social media has become if you're looking for it.
Well, let me give you a follow-up and an update. We talked about this yesterday. Sean Evans, who is the guy that does the hot ones, tasting all the hot wings.
Mm-hmm.
We said that he was dating an adult film star,
Yes.
and he was getting some weird press about it.
Mm-hmm. Mrs. Stratton, I believe her name
Melissa
was.
Stratton, you
Yeah.
looked her up, don't lie.
I didn't. Willpower, bro.
You looked up willpower?
You think I'm going to be looking that up with ashes on my head? That's a little...
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fair. It's
What's
Come
her
on.
name? I'll look her up right now.
Melissa Stratton. Don't look it up on a work computer.
I'm just going to see who is this.
Yeah,
I have no
look it up
idea.
on your-
Oh, that-
Look it up
I
on
just
your
have
phone.
no
Look it
idea
up
what
on
you're
Muncie.
talking about.
Muncie.
Let me tell you who came up, a CEO.
Well, she's a CEO of something. Look it up on your phone. Anyway, because of the negative press he got for dating an adult film star, they broke up a day later, and they have since blocked each other on social media just to prove the point. You break up with someone, your team loses. Social media is there to remind you of your failures and your victories.
Yeah.
It's a
You gotta
weird place.
That's why you can't just take all the good feedback, because there's a lot of bad that comes with it. It sucks. Social media, as Monty said before, it's an ugly place. It really is.
And to make the point, I'll say it one last time and then we'll move on. Social media makes losing in sports 10 times worse.
I often wonder, guys, for real, if we didn't do what we did for a living, COVINO and Rich, everybody here works in radio, entertainment. I often wonder how much I would use social media.
100%.
Because, I'm not saying I would be the guy who didn't have one. I think you're a weirdo if you don't have
I wonder
some form of social media. But would I be on it as much? Because I use that as my loophole for justification as to why I'm on it so much. I really think I'd fight the urge to be on it because it makes you feel gross.
Think that I'm used to getting my news, a lot of it now, especially sports, from Twitter. and X allows us to communicate with people all over the world. So I like Twitter a lot. It's Facebook that bothers me.
Oh, I deleted Facebook years ago because I couldn't
haven't
stand
used it in 10 years.
I'm close to it because even the fan groups that you talked about a few minutes ago, Rich, there are people that do not know our teams the way we do, and they either post something with everything misspelled or they think they're breaking news
You know what it is,
on your
Danny?
team and they're a week late.
It does keep you in the know. That's the thing. And there's a
Yeah.
sense of FOMO, especially doing what we do. But in life in general, if you're not up on the news as it happens, and that's what social media has brought to us, So
yeah, that's tough too. Danny's right. When people are posting incorrect stuff, then you have that. Like the barbershop, we always say, like if you hear someone at the barbershop saying some incorrect crap, do you step in and be like, excuse me, or do you let them be wrong?
Yeah, and then the comments are 100 people correcting the person that posted it.
I saw someone say Kyle Shanahan decided to receive in overtime because if they scored a touchdown, game over. And I'm like, no, that's not the rule.
yeah.
But
Dummy.
Oh God, am I going to correct dummies? I don't know. But
It's hard. It's hard. It's like, okay, I didn't see that.
Are they
just let it go?
trolling you? Are they trolling you for the
Right.
feedback and just to bother you?
Right.
Like I had a friend that used to do that in real life, and now you see that on social media. Meaning, I had a friend that would purposely say, and Rich knows him.
Yeah,
he
Sean.
would say, I was watching American Icon last night, just waiting for someone to pounce and say, "You mean American Idol?" And he'd be like, "No, I think it's American Icon." But just to piss people off.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what trolls do. So, Rich, you may have took the bait right there.
I take the bait way too much, but it's funny because when you think about what social media is you adapt to, like there's hosts on this network, and I think it's depending on where you come from, like your background. Like Doug Gottlieb, who's on before us, he has no social media presence except for Twitter, and on Twitter he's huge. He'll post something.
Yeah,
and,
but I find that to be counterproductive for what he does. But that's his own prerogative. It's not hurting him any.
No, but I'm
That's
saying
for sure.
like
He's doing well.
you and I, not Twitter guys at all, but I prefer like Instagram and TikTok.
I think I'm addicted.
The
to
other
TikTok.
thing I hate about Facebook, and I took a screenshot for you guys this past weekend, in purple background and big white letters, this girl wrote, I think I went to high school with her. She wrote, I couldn't even tell y'all who's playing at the Super Bowl.
Barf.
Oh, good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you for sharing
Yeah,
that.
the same people are like, I never have watched one episode of
Is a
Love is
sports
Blind.
ball happening?
Taylor Swift's playing.
Hey, Danny G, maybe she just wanted you to let her know.
See, and that's, I don't, but I don't fall.
funny you asked. It's the
No.
and the Niners.
No, those are the people you don't leave comments for. The same ones, Rich, who say, "Oh my God, my life is over," or it's something dramatic.
sympathy fishing.
Right, and they don't say what's wrong, and then there's all these comments. What happened? Tell us, and they don't say what happened.
Yeah, social media stinks.
Well, anyway, I'm just saying
it makes losing that much worse. That's the point.
That's the tie-in here on Fox Sports Radio. Not only your personal life with exes and jobs and friends and family, sports, it's tricky when your team loses. I'm not trying to be a sports baby. Chiefs won fair and square, but you go on social media, every fan's making an excuse. I want to get out of my own 49er algorithm. Like, get me out of this.
Is there a way to reset your algorithm?
I don't know.
I wish
don't know.
you could.
Well, anyway, Covino and Rich, love hanging with you guys here on Fox Sports Radio. See, I'm feeling better as I talk to you.
There
guys.
you go.
I feel good.
He's venting, Spot. I don't know what stage that is, but he's venting. He's working through it.